You are Locked On Red Sox Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Boston. On the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, I don't even know where to start, but I'll tell you this. The Sox dropped the opener in the Bronx. Cooper, Criswell, solid. Penn was solid until it wasn't. Bats disappoint again. Just cannot happen at this point in the season. We do welcome you to the latest Locked On Red Sox Postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime play-by-play announcer, show host. I've called games from the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan, Dodger Stadium, Target Field, Minute Maid Park, Kauffman Stadium, Jacobs Field, Globe Life in Arlington, and LeLacheur Park in Lowell, Massachusetts. We are providing reaction every Red Sox game on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, which is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. On our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast, we discuss disappointment. We've all had disappointments in our life. I came on after the walk-off victory Wednesday night at home against the Orioles for the Red Sox at Fenway, saying the door is open. Well, the door is open, but it's open about that much right now for the Red Sox. The biggest thing is opportunities, and a lot of missed opportunities yet again on Thursday. We do want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers. Join the conversation, watching live on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Hit the comment button. Join the Sox conversation. You can also hit me up on the X at Lennox on Baseball with questions, comments, or concerns. Subscribe to the Locked On Sports YouTube channel. Follow me on the X again at Lennox on Baseball. Locked On Red Sox Postcast brought to you by PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB. Use code, all lowercase, LockedOnMLB to win $50 instantly when you play $5. Opportunities. 4 hits total. After you walked off in the bottom of the 10th inning Thursday night, you managed 4 hits against Nestor Cortes in the Yankees bullpen. And the Yankees now lead the AL East by 2 games over the Baltimore Orioles, thanks to winning game number 1 of the 4-game series against the Red Sox Thursday night. Red Sox walked off Wednesday night. Yankees walked off Wednesday night against the Royals. Yankees walk off in extra innings for the 2nd straight game. Nestor Cortes is a good pitcher, but yet again, the Red Sox don't manage a whole heck of a lot of hits. 1 hit total. 1 hit total from the 6th inning on against the Yankees bullpen. Wilyer Abreu in the 10th inning, what the heck are you doing? Numbers of the night. Usually we do that in segment number 3. Numbers of the night. Let me see if I can just bring the box score up here real quick. This is how it went for the Red Sox. Duran, 0 for 5, 2 strikeouts. Rafael Devers, 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Gonzalez in the number 3 spot because Rob Refsnyder was a late scratch because of a wrist issue. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. 0 for 12, 7 strikeouts from your top 3 hitters in the lineup. On September 12th, when you're what we call, quote-unquote, still within striking distance of being a wild card team. That's the hope, the 3rd wild card, not the division title. Those hopes were long gone. You move Devers up to the number 2 spot in the lineup. You know where you move him now? 7th or 8th. You got 2 right-handers the next couple of games, but Devers is not doing it for you. Now, not to be completely pessimistic here, Devers at third base may have made the best play. He made 2 fantastic plays, starting a double play, and then on Volpe late, going down feet first, spinning, throwing to first in plenty of time. And before he got that out, made a nifty play, and over at first base, Casas helped him out. But offensively, 4 hits. 4 hits. The Yankees bullpen is good. I don't think it's great. We've seen the same cast of characters. They've picked guys up off the scrap heap just like everybody else. You can't do anything against Tim Hill, who, granted, is a tough left-hander against lefties. I thought it was bad Sunday in losing the finale against the White Sox. This one stings. Yeah, it's a couple of days later, even more because you just had the opportunities. And you know it was going to play out in the bottom of the 10th inning. The way things played out in the top of the 10th, you knew either Soto or Judge was probably going to win the game, right? You just have a feel sometimes. Cooper, Criswell, solid. Working into the 6th inning. Bullpen, bent, didn't break. Slayton rebounding from giving up the tying home run to the Orioles and Santander on Wednesday night. Martin, Jansen. Then in the 10th inning, you just knew. It was sort of like, okay, do you want this to happen fast? And it did happen fast. Soto, base hit, ball game over. Scores that ghost runner, the Manfred runner, the free runner, whatever you want to call it, in the bottom of the 10th inning, ball game over, and a 2-1 game. You manage 4 base hits. 4 base hits total. Can't happen. Just can't happen at this point in the season. It really can't. Sox falling 10. Bats just quiet. Just absolutely quiet. Not a lot of hard contact. Devers had a foul ball that he hit that was up and in. How he made contact on that, I have no idea. Even O'Neill, late in the game. You think there's hope. O'Neill in what, the 9th inning? Kind of go back here, just looking at the box score, scrolling through here. 9th inning. Yeah, Yoshida, pinch hitter, grounds out O'Neill into right center field. Wong walked. Story struck out. Casas flies out to center, inning over. Against Tommy Kahnle. Again, you give credit to the Yankees bullpen. But these guys aren't world beaters by any stretch of the imagination. Cortez, Danny Jansen hits a home run. And Criswell, I mean, you're thinking. And I Torres gives up the home, Torres hits the home run to lead off the home first inning, 1-0. By the way, only out in one ballpark. Yankee Stadium. Wasn't out in any other ballparks. May have been a double or an extra base hit, maybe a triple in some ballparks. I don't know that right fielder or center fielder gets that ball. It might crash off a lot of walls, but out at Yankee Stadium. And a game that was, it was 3 hours old, but it was a Yankees Red Sox game, but it was a low scoring game because all of a sudden the bullpens decide, hey, we're great. We're terrific. We're not going to bend. Yankees bullpen bent, but really giving up nothing. I don't know where you go from here. Twins were off. Twins host the Reds starting Friday for a weekend series. Let's get into some of the comments. You want to hit us up on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel? Go right ahead. I'm starting. I did it Sunday. I'm starting to do it more. Emotions on the sleeves or whatever. I'm more disappointed tonight because it was right there. You had opportunities. You really did. Andrew the GOAT. Really choked tonight. Yeah, you can say that. Choked away an opportunity. Andrew the GOAT, it's a wrap. Red Sox season is over. I don't want to say that, but realistically, we know where it's at this point in time. And if you want to be an MVP candidate, if you want the contract that Rafael Devers has, I know Devers is probably done at some point next week. If they're not, maybe it's the final week of the regular season. But if you're in the lineup, there's got to be an adjustment there somewhere. And this isn't on. It's almost over, Andrew the GOAT. That's what I've got there on our rundown. Red Sox are not making the playoffs, sadly. Alejandro for the first time. It's the Yankees' year. Alejandro, I don't know about that. It very well could be. But Alejandro, appreciate you checking in. It might be the Yankees' year. Good luck late game situations with Clay Holmes. Possibility of him closing it out because that's going to be interesting. Have the Rolaids ready. Andrew the GOAT. Red Sox. Yeah, the Red Sox, you've got to win series. This is a 4-game series. You lose the opener. You've got to win the next 3. You can't split New York. Because you need all sorts of help at this point in time, and I don't know it's coming. I gave you the top 3 hitters in the lineup. Duran, Devers, and Gonzalez, the top 3 to start. If you're new with us, thank you. But a few weeks ago, it was sort of like, okay, the pitching has gone south. Does someone answer for that at the end of the year? I don't think Andrew Bailey's going anywhere. I think Craig Breslow and Andrew Bailey are on the same page. I think the pitching and bringing it and developing it, that's the next stage for Andrew Bailey and Craig Breslow together. I think you have to give it time in that sense. They were pitching heavy in the draft this year. It's going to be time. Look at their top 10. Richard Fitz is now in the big leagues, but I believe he was either just on the fringe of the top 10 or just outside the top 10 in terms of top talent. All the top 10 pretty much position players for the Red Sox. We know that. It's well documented. The future looks bright. But right now on the hitting side, the way this is gone for an extended period of time, you're not even getting 6 or 7 hits a game. You're 4 hits. Someone on the offensive side, the philosophy, Breslow's going to put that philosophy on the pitching side into play. I give it a little time. I give it into next year. See what these guys who come up from the minors do. Fitz showed you what he's capable of doing. Red Sox philosophy when it comes to pitching, that's implemented in the minors. Fitz comes up. He's a guy who's going to have to throw strikes, keep the ball down in the zone, right? But offensively right now, does somebody pay at the end of the year? Because you've got to ask the questions. Why has this happened in the second half of the season? Duran had that 2-game suspension, and prior to that, MVP conversation. And going back to that, he's in the MVP conversation. He's no longer there. Devers has the big contract. The shoulders are an issue. Those 2 guys, they haven't done anything in weeks now. Weeks. Duran, 78 extra base hits. He's been on 78 extra base hits for a long time. Sometimes you want to see him go up there and take a pitch or 2. Nope, first pitch swinging fly ball, 1 out. He hasn't stolen a bag in quite a while. Something there with Duran. And I don't want to hear about him playing 162 next year. By the way, Gabby Hurlbut with Locked On Red Sox has one of her latest posts on Jarren Duran. And the Red Sox crazy to trade Jarren Duran this offseason. I tap the brakes on that one because I do believe in selling high. And right now, Jarren Duran, his value in a trade can't be any higher. It will never be any higher. This is probably a career year. Now, does he put up similar numbers next year? Yes. But next year, we're doing this again in 2025. We're locked in. We're locked in with Locked On Red Sox Postcast. There you go. I got it. I don't want to hear about Jarren Duran playing 162 games. He needs that load management day like they call it in the NBA or whatever you want. He's going to need a day or 2 once in a while off his feet. And that's got to be made clear to him early on next year. I went way too long here. Andrew the GOAT, back into you. What do the Red Sox do now after this loss? I'd say pray for rain. I absolutely hope that Tanner Houck can go on Friday in Game 2 of this series. I would love to see the tandem, Houck and Fitz. Let's see them go. And you're going to need it because a couple of these guys now have pitched in back-to-back days. You went 10 innings. Criswell got into the 6th. We get into Cooper Criswell next. We get into some notes as well. Pray for rain. And guess what? I don't think it's coming. And even if you got a rain out on Friday, you'd have to play a double dip on Saturday as well. Keep the comments coming. Locked On Red Sox Sports Boston YouTube channel. Follow us on the X at Lennox on baseball as well. And Alejandro, you may think it's the Yankees year. You're not in the right place, but you're in the right place. You're a first-timer for us. Thank you very much. Stick around with us as well. Cooper Criswell and the pen for the Red Sox. The Red Sox did a lot right except win the game and collect a timely base hit. The pitching, the defense, outstanding. The hitting, I don't know where it went. Missing in action right now, that's for sure. Hey, our Locked On Red Sox postcast brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, Prize Picks you against the numbers. That's simple. All you have to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 stat projections. Watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends. Become part of the Prize Picks community today. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as just 4 correct picks. You can turn your $10 into $1,000. Sign up today. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. You do not even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. Not a lot of things in life guaranteed. Prize Picks is giving you 50 when you play 5. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB to get that $50 bonus instantly when you play 5. Again, code LOCKEDONMLB, all lowercase. Prize Picks, where you get your $50 instantly when you play your $5. You don't even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. Locked On Red Sox Postcast, also brought to you by FanDuel. You have heard us talk about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Well, now FanDuel has something a little bit different for you, and it's to your advantage. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5, and with that, you get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every single regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel that anytime. And if that's not enough, be sure to check out FanDuel's Profit Boost in the app and use it for FanDuel's double your winnings for all of Sunday, September 15th. Pre-game money line bets. Profit Boost will be live starting Thursday, September 12th. It's now underway. That's the date. It's now underway. View your account page now. Learn more about your boost. Just visit FanDuel.com. Download America's #1 sportsbook. So the Red Sox lose at home or lose on the road to the Yankees in 10 innings, 2-1 the final with the loss. How about this? Red Sox scuffling in the Big Apple. Red Sox have lost 6 straight road games. Remember when they were a great road team? Not anymore. Red Sox have lost 4 in a row. Remember, last week, swept in a 3-game series, never led at any point. They haven't led in New York in the last, 10 days almost? Lost all 3 to the Mets at Citi Field last week. 1 over 515 to go. Lost 3 in a row against the Yankees. Now 5-5 against the Yankees with 3 to go in this series. 4.5 games back of the idle Twins, who open up a series against the Reds. Then they've got 4 against Cleveland to open up next week. Then 3 in Boston. So they'll pick up that half-game difference. The Red Sox on this trip opening up Thursday night with a 2-1 10-inning loss to the Yankees. So the Red Sox after Sunday's finale, hopefully we're talking about taking 3 out of 4. It's going to be awfully hard. Boy, talk about your backs to the wall. Then it's off to St. Pete for a 3-game series against the Rays. The Red Sox are off next Thursday. The Rays will play, the Twins will play. They'll wrap up a series against the Guardians. Right now, Red Sox fans, you've got to be rooting for the Cincinnati Reds, and then you've got to be rooting for the Cleveland Guardians. It's got to be 3. It has to be 3 games going into that series against Minnesota. You're going to hear me say that after a 2-1, 10-inning, disappointing loss to the Yankees in the Bronx Thursday night. You're going to hear me say that again probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and all the way through until next week. That's the glimmer of hope. That door that I thought was open, really open after the walk-off victory against the Orioles Wednesday night, it's a roller coaster right now. Grab the Tums. Grab the antacid pills. Because the Red Sox, 15 games to go over the next 17 days. They'll have 2 off days, but a game over 500. And I projected 88 to 90 and really closer to 90 wins for that 3rd wild card spot. Now, 15 to go. You've got to go 15-5. You've got to go 16-4. Or I'm sorry, I'm horrible with the numbers when I try to do it like that. 15 to go. 11-4, 10-5, 12-3. You've got to get to 84 wins. Right now, realistically, I thought 84 wins at the beginning of the year. And I really didn't change that even after the start they got off to with that strong road trip. But right now you're looking at, finish at 500. I don't know why. The game just sort of slogged through. For me, I mean, it was a low score. It was a 1-1 game. Danny Jansen ties the game up with a home run. Hey, his 3rd since he joined the team and 1st in a long time. And Danny Jansen has hit 3 solo home runs since coming over from the Blue Jays prior to the trade deadline. His first home run since August 10th at home against Houston. So that right-handed pull hitter, he got a home run, tied the game up 1-1. And as I was sort of in my final preparations before we went live on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, I was thinking, is it possible that this game seemed very slow? Because here's my first Nesson reference. Dave O'Brien wasn't there with either Uke or Maloney or Middlebrooks. John Smoltz said some odd things to me. He really did. Devers made the play. Let me get here. I think it was a play in the bottom of the ninth inning with Kenley on the mound. Rizzo. Yeah, it was. It was before Devers made the great play against Volpe for the second out with Kenley Jansen on the mound. But John Smoltz says something along the lines of, I'm not saying that Rizzo wasn't running down the line hard. Well, you kind of were. And you know what? You're a national analyst. You don't have to be everybody's best friend. And I like John Smoltz as an analyst because, again, part of my criteria for an analyst on big league broadcasts, why I've grown to love Kevin Youkilis, Will Middlebrooks, Merloni, they teach me something almost every night. And Dave O'Brien does a great job of getting that information out there to teach somebody like me. I know a lot about baseball. I'll never know anything close to what those guys know about baseball. And they teach me something most nights. But John Smoltz having to make a point to say, well, I don't want to really say that Anthony Rizzo wasn't running down the line. But if he's running down the line, maybe with that throw, he could have beat it out. I don't care if it's Anthony Rizzo or a rookie. That's kind of part of your job, isn't it? If he had run harder, if he busted it out of the box, might have been safe. Might have given himself an opportunity. At least you give yourself the opportunity if you're hustling down the line. And I know you're not going to bust it out of the box on every ground ball, and that looked like a routine 5-3 play. But you never know what's going to happen. But Smoltz says that. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I was thinking about that, and if I was going to bring it up or not, maybe that's part of why this game, yes, 3 hours old, but it hit the 3-hour mark in either the ninth inning or right at the beginning of the 10th inning. At bat of the night. Yeah, I'm going to pour on here a little bit because I didn't like this one at all. My at bat of the night, top of the 10th inning, Casas is the runner initially, then they pinch ran for him with Rob Refsnyder. But Abreu, one pitch and a flyout. I said it on Wednesday night. The visiting team has such an advantage in that top of the 10th inning. Runner at second, nobody out. You've got to move that runner. You've got to get that runner at least to third base, less than 2 outs. Then you go from there. We've heard analysts talk time and time again. Important in the top of extra innings as the visiting team, get more than one run. Get greedy. We saw it in that Marlins series before the All-Star break, right? And then it was in the Yankee. Then it was, where was it as well? The Dodgers series after the All-Star break. You got a couple of runs. And then they came back and won the game anyway. But that's the at-bat of the night. Wilyer Abreu batting in the number 8 spot? I mean, that should have been a positive for the Red Sox with Abreu down there in the bottom of the lineup. Hey, he was in there against a lefty starter in Nestor Cortez who went to 5 innings. Throw a positive out there right now. Their bullpen might be a little gassed as well. That's their second straight extra inning game. So you're into the bullpen. And the previous series against the Yankees, you got in their bullpen. That was success. We'll see if that happens over the next 3 games. I almost wish I had this thought. Then we'll hit a break. I had this thought during the game. I almost wish that Garrett Cole started the opener because maybe that would have gotten Rafael Devers going. Do you sit Devers Friday and have him face Cole on Saturday and just hope? I said Tyler O'Neill, game-winning home run Wednesday night. I said it last week. Tyler O'Neill, healthy, has to be back in this lineup. He's delivered, including a Game-winning 3-run home run Wednesday night against the Orioles and Sir Anthony Dominguez. He's provided the pop. 5 home runs in 5 games coming into Thursday night against the Yankees. And I've talked about O'Neill and that fastball out over the plate, and he's trying to pull it. My goodness. And it wasn't a great swing, and they called it a check swing, Joe Davis and John Smoltz. But Tyler O'Neill at Yankee Stadium with his strength, fly balls to right field, he's got 30 home runs on the season. He'd hit 40+. Tyler O'Neill now has 30+ home runs for the second time in his career. But if he could adjust offensively at the plate just a little bit, up the middle, not pulling everything, I think he'd cut down on his strikeouts. And in a ballpark like Yankee Stadium, he'd hit balls out all the time. He could hit balls down the right field line at pesky pole at Fenway. But right now, I maybe you sit Devers on Friday, give him the lineup against a guy like Garrett Cole, who he's had great success against over the course of his career. And you know who knows that best? Garrett Cole. Numbers of the night. Liam Hendriks looks like he's done. We'll opine on that as well coming up next. Glad you're with us on the Locked On Sports and Locked On Red Sox postcast. We want to acknowledge our everydayers for making Locked On Red Sox and the Locked On Red Sox postcast their first listen every day. We are presented by Tonal. Even the most dedicated gym goers, that's not me, struggle with consistency. That I do struggle with. The commute, waiting for weights, other people sweat. It makes skipping a workout very tempting. If you don't use those excuses and you want 25 more, come see me. But we're talking about Tonal. With Tonal, you can choose from thousands of workouts and train in a way that you actually enjoy at home. Tonal is the world's smartest and most effective strength training system that helps you get stronger. Powered by AI, Tonal learns with every rep so it can deliver workouts personalized just for you as an individual. Tonal learns from your movement and provides suggested weight recommendations for every move with detailed progress reports. They even create personalized programs for you as well with workout suggestions and recommendations based on your individual goals. Unlike traditional gym equipment, Tonal uses adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques. From professional athletes to the mom of 3 or the lazy dad like me, Tonal is trusted by thousands who have become their strongest. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Tonal.com. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, Tonal.com. Promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off. All right, segment number 3, disappointing loss for the Red Sox. We've said that before, haven't we? Steve Lennox with you, Locked On Red Sox postcast, part of the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, your team every day. 2-1-10 inning loss. 4 total hits, 1 hit after the 6th inning against the Yankees bullpen. I went into Criswell a little bit. I went off on a tangent, as I'm prone to do every once in a while. Criswell, again, was solid. Gave up the run in the first inning on the home run. Came back and retired the next 3 batters, Soto, Judge, and Wells. And don't give me Austin Wells. If you're going to say Austin Wells is in the conversation for Rookie of the Year, you better have Cedar Rafaela and Wilyer Abreu ahead of him in conversation. Wells has done terrific. He's now in that number 4 spot in the Yankees lineup. He's catching almost every day. But come on. If you're going to talk about Austin Wells being in the mix, and there are guys I think that are above all 3 of the guys, Wells for the Yankees, Rafaela, and Abreu for the Red Sox, come on. You've got to tell the rest of the story in that instance as well. So numbers of the night here in just a moment, but it's looking like Rob Refsnyder came in as a pinch runner. It's looking, it was a late scratch with a sore wrist, but he was in the lineup initially against the lefty Nestor Cortez. We'll see if he's back in the lineup Thursday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday over the weekend with 3 games remaining against the Yankees in the Bronx. But it does now look like Liam Hendriks is going to be shut down, or at least the door is going to close on him pitching at the big league level this year. And as I thought about Liam Hendriks today, I thought about Luis Garcia and Lucas Sims. When was the last time you heard those names? Because Garcia, at least, it looked like, there was possibility of him coming back. Fatigue, whatever you want to call it, inflammation. Looked like he had an opportunity to come back. I haven't heard either one of those names in about a week. I've got them in my notes so that I see the name, but I haven't seen anyone talking about either one of those guys picked up right at the trade deadline. And you gave up quantity to the Angels in that trade for a reliever that did not pan out. Numbers of the night. Hey, the Red Sox continue. Hey, consistent in one area. I say this tongue-in-cheek, but boy, they're striking out a ton right now. 13 in back-to-back games, 2 games in a row against the Orioles and their pitching staff. And the Red Sox, just so many empty at-bats during the course of the game against the Yankees and across the board. 14 strikeouts. Cortez had 9 over 5 innings. He threw 92 pitches. Hey, you got his pitch count up there. Pitch to contact. Not a lot of contact in the Red Sox lineup. Bullpen was great until it wasn't. And that was supposed to be in the second segment. Criswell worked into the 6th inning. Boozer, shaky. Good to see him back. It's been a while. First outing since coming off the injured list. First outing since appearance out of the bullpen against the Rangers back in August. Kelly got the final out, left the bases loaded. Yankees left the bases loaded twice in the game. Once against Criswell, once in that 6th inning when Criswell got an out, Boozer got an out, and Kelly got the final out. Slayton, nice to see him back there. Second straight game. He's probably shut down on Friday. And I'm thinking more and more as I'm looking at the Red Sox pitchers, Boozer, Kelly, Slayton, Martin, Jansen, Winckowski. They used all of them. Winckowski could go again because he gave up the hit and threw 5 total pitches. So he could go on Friday. But Kenley's worked back-to-back games. So I really do think it's Tanner Houck. And I didn't have Nesson on for the postgame, so they may have already announcement. If they did, I apologize. But I see Houck and Fitz in tandem. And I actually like that a lot. Ask Nestor Cortez and Clark Schmidt about that. Schmidt, right-hander, goes. Last time out, I don't know if it was his first start since coming off the IL, but they were basically in tandem. I would love to see that with Houck and Fitz. And I'd almost like to see Fitz start and then let Houck finish the game out. Let Fitz go the first 4 and have the plan for Tanner Houck. You want a plan for your pitching staff? I think that's a good one. Let Fitz start and then let Houck go the rest of the way. See if that is a magic formula, a winning formula on Friday night against Clark Schmidt, who before he got injured was putting up, he was a great 4 or 5 starter for the Yankees before he got injured, and he was down for quite a while as well. So, again, it was TBA. We think Tanner Houck, Richard Fitz would be on rest because he made his Major League debut in that disheartening and disastrous loss last Sunday at home against the White Sox, but he pitched well. Left with a lead, right? Yeah. So, Saturday, Bayo, Garrett Cole, Cutter Crawford, Carlos Rodon. Are we going to see 4 straight low-scoring games in this series? We want to talk about one more wasted opportunity. Soto has the game-winning base hit, but prior to that, he was 0 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Aaron Judge, quiet night, 1 for 4. First pitch swinging and retired on just 1 pitch in a couple of at-bats. So he actually helped the Red Sox out an awful lot. And, hey, we see Giancarlo Stanton in the lineup as well. Good to see him healthy. One of those guys where you just think he's going to go down with an injury at some point soon. I'm not wishing for it, but it just seems, that's a guy that never stays healthy. So what do we got coming up? 3 more games against the Yankees, then 3 in St. Pete against the Tampa Bay Rays. And remember, first half of the season, Red Sox swept a series against the Rays in St. Pete. It was the first time in a long time they had done that. As always, we want to acknowledge and tip our cap to our sponsors. By supporting our sponsors, you're supporting us as well with Locked On Sports, Prize Picks, FanDuel, and Tonal. We had some good conversation back and forth. Alejandro, thank you. Andrew the GOAT, as always, appreciate you checking in as well. Again, the podcast up and available within minutes of going off air with our Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. But we do thank you for making the Locked On Red Sox postcast your first listen every day. We do thank the live audience as well with the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Locked On Boston College postcast, Locked On Patriots postcast, part of the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, up and running. Patriots in action, home opener this Sunday. Don't forget Mike Debate also covers the Patriots Daily with Locked On Patriots as well. And then, hey, I'm hoping for October baseball, but I'm also gearing up for Locked On Celtics postcast as well as the reigning NBA champions are getting ready to defend their title. The NBA regular season will be here before you know it at the end of October. Again, we do go live within minutes of the last out of every Red Sox game with our latest edition of the Locked On Red Sox postcast. Locked On Sports, your team every day. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody.